A Columbia ordinance has the city council in the hot seat.
Some changes are coming to Columbia Public Transit.
And a community gathers to remember an icon. KOMU8 News at 9 starts now.
Live from Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU8 News at 9.
Authorities in Columbia are on the lookout for a man suspected of first-degree burglary. Good evening, I'm Elena O'Connell.
And I'm Jen Lask. Officers responded to a call at the 1300 block of Anthony Street a little after 3:30 this morning. The 19-year-old victim reported the suspect walked in through an unlocked door and attempted to sexually assault her before fleeing the scene. The victim wasn't injured and she reported nothing was stolen. The suspect is described as a 6-foot white male in his early 20s with a thin build. The Columbia Board of Realtors and the Columbia City Council cannot come to an agreement on the new occupancy ordinance. In 2012, there were 14 complaints of homes with too many tenants, so the City Council wanted to educate them on zoning laws and ordinances for their area. Originally, the Council and the Board were working together to find a solution for the ongoing concern of over-occupancy in Columbia. But last November, the Council took over drafting the ordinance without any input from the Board. The over-occupancy issue came to light in July. In November, the City Council held a meeting and asked the Board of Realtors not to come to avoid overcrowding in the room. Then, in December, the Board received a notice that the ordinance was drafted and would be presented during the Council meeting the following week. On January 7th, the Council unanimously approved the ordinance without any input from the Board.
If they don't change something at this next board meeting, we are planning to file a petition for a lawsuit against the city, which I let them know of at that June 17th meeting, that was definitely a possibility if they didn't take any action on the ordinance.
Kemp says the ordinance is in direct conflict with the real estate statutes of the state of Missouri and the Realtor Code of Ethics. For more information on the ordinance, visit our website at komu.com.
Many friends, family, and community members gathered today at Missouri Methodist Church to celebrate the life of Dr. Elliott Battle. KOMU8's Meredith Albert was in attendance at the ceremony and shows us how many lives he impacted.
A day of remembrance and celebration. Hundreds gathered today to celebrate the life and the impact of Dr. Elliott Battle.
Thanks to my grandfather and the many challenges that he faced in his life and the obstacles that he overcame, things are much easier for me and for my children.
Uncle Elliott had his own special place in the hearts and immeasurable impact on the lives of his family.
I love you, Grandpa, and forever I will be proud to say, my name is John Elliott Pierce.
The family expressed gratitude and thanks to the citizens of Columbia, where Battle made a difference in the lives of many by being a role model and a mentor.
Yeah, I think you, Columbia, deserve a thank you. A sincere appreciation for your 50-plus years of supporting not only my father, but my family. I know my father's legacy will ripple through eternity.
Meredith Albert, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
Battle worked in various positions in Columbia Public Schools from the late 1950s until he retired in 1991. He donated his body to the University of Missouri School of Medicine for medical education and research.
The Tiger Academy of Gymnastics hosted a silent auction, Raise the Roof, at the Hampton Inn and Suites tonight. The Academy provides training for more than 500 children, including 75 with special needs. In April, it received notice from MU that it would no longer be able to use the university's athletics complex or equipment starting September 1st. It was a decision that left gymnasts like Ellie and Emma both hurt and eager to help their academy.
I felt upset because Tiger Academy is it's my life. I revolve around it.
Ellie and Emma contributed to the fundraising with a lemonade stand, cookie dough, and pizza sales. Ellie's father, one of the co-coordinators of Adapted Gymnastics, says the Academy already raised $25,000 leading up to the auction tonight and hopes to earn another $100,000 by the end of the night.
The carnival rides were up and running and burgers were sizzling on the grill at a Mid-America Harley-Davidson event today. Motorcyclists lined up their bikes and families from around the area came to raise money for veterans. The event was raising money for Central Missouri Honor Flight, a nonprofit organization that flies Mid-Mo veterans to Washington, D.C. to reflect at their memorials.
They're our veterans. We need to honor them and remember what they did for our country.
The event had music, food, and carnival rides. They hope to raise around $10,000 at today's festival.
In Columbia, the sound of drums, maracas, and laughter filled Stevens Lake Park this afternoon. More than 100 people took part in the second annual Puerto Rican Festival today. With performances, dancing, loud music, and food, festival goers celebrated their culture. The event started last year after a group of Puerto Rican siblings from New York felt the need to identify with others in mid-Missouri. Today, people came from all over the state. Jefferson City, Rolla, and Kansas City, to name a few, something that means a lot for some.
Just being together as our heritage, all together Puerto Ricans, eating our common island food, and just getting to know each other, networking, and just being together as a family, as one.
The event's organizers plan on hosting the festival again next year around the same time.
Your eyes weren't deceiving you if you saw some unusual characters in Jefferson City this afternoon. Iron Man, Little Bo Peep, and elves were among the hundreds of fans of pop culture who turned out for Jefferson City's first CosmoCon. Most attendees were from Missouri and Kansas, but some came from as far as Chicago, Canada, New York, and even New Mexico. Many put a lot of effort into their costumes.
The chainmail took several months, at least maybe 5 or 6 collectively. It's kind of spaced out though. And then the rest of the costume took last summer. I worked on it, and I have a shield back there too. Would go with my sword. I made the props in like a week.
Organizers say 500 to 600 people showed up today, and more than 1,000 are expected for the entire event. The 4-day event began Thursday and runs through Sunday afternoon at the Truman Hotel.
In the turkey world, a Jake is considered an immature male turkey, but the National Wild Turkey Federation also uses the term for an annual event. Bass Pro Shops partnered with the NWTF today for the second annual Juniors Acquiring Knowledge and Ethics, or JAKES event. A JAKES event teaches kids how to hunt safely, whether it's shooting with guns or with the bow and arrow. NWTF hopes that the JAKES event encourages kids to continue the hunting practice.
Our data tells us that a great percentage of kids that have that archery in the school's PE class go on to try hunting at some time, which is what we're all about.
More than 50 kids participated in both last year's and this year's JAKES event. NWTF says it welcomes all kinds of shooting experience levels because it wants to increase participant numbers in the future.
Gusty winds and heavy rain surprised a few of us in mid-Missouri. Let's send it over to Tori to see if any more surprises are on the way this weekend.
Well, the good news is it does look like most of those spotty showers we experienced earlier this evening